everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I make motherhood and lifestyle videos. I have a daughter and a son, 3 years old and 1 year old, and I'm married to my high school sweetheart. We live in the middle of Saskatchewan prairies and it took us 4 years to complete our master bedroom. We moved into this house 4 years ago and lots has happened since then. We have spent our time focusing on the kitchen and other areas of the house. Every area of the house really, except for our bedroom. And I mean, it doesn't really seem fair because we spend most of our time in this bedroom, but it's done and I'm so excited. We turned a plain Jane, white, boring, nothing exciting about a bedroom into a Moroccan boho inspired bedroom of our dreams. It's so relaxing to come in here. I love being in here now. And I am just absolutely thrilled to be sharing with you today. Before we get into this video, let's just watch the before clip so you can get a good idea of what we were dealing with. So because we live in a very small home, our bedroom is very small. I know it looks a bit bigger on camera, but that's just because we're using a wide angle lens just to get everything in the shot. It felt very cramped and full, which is why we had the bed pressed against the wall. First, let's talk about the problem areas of the bedroom. Let's start off with these nightstands. These nightstands were horrid. They were this ugly green color. We had spray painted them black and the paint was chipping on all areas of the nightstands. Because our bed was pressed against the wall, we only needed one nightstand and didn't really have a place for the other one, so it was kind of tucked in the corner by the rocking chair and they were just taking up so much space. Next up were the closet doors. The closet doors were so bad. They were ugly, they were falling apart, paint was chipping off. We had tried screwing this tiny little mirror to it like so many times and it kept falling out because it kept getting tugged on by our children and it was just not a pretty sight. Closet doors had to go. Also, that mirror needed to go. Our headboard was nice and I liked it, but it was falling apart. We bought it from the thrift store and it was made for a double bed, not a queen bed, so it's actually too small. Now because our bed was pressed against the wall, it wasn't as noticeable, but the truth still remained. It was too small for our bed. The rocking chair in the room was taking up a lot of space and we were getting to the point where we didn't really need it anymore. So we definitely wanted to move that out of the room and just create more open space. And lastly, at the foot of the bed, I don't know. We had a wicker chest there because I had plans that didn't really work out and it was just an awkward space that needed something. So plan A was pretty simple. It was keep the whole layout, remove some of the stuff in there, like take out the nightstands, take out the rocking chair, and then DIY a few projects like build a new headboard, build some floating shelves, maybe do like a feature wall with the closet doors to make that wall stand out. I found this mirror on Facebook Marketplace. It is an IKEA mirror, so it's nothing like super special, but I do love the way it looks. I love the light wood, I love the curves on the edges, and for me it was a really good find because the closest IKEA to us is 6 hours away. And I'm not driving 6 hours away to get a mirror, and I'm also not paying $200 to get it shipped to me. So I was excited when I saw this. We bought it, we brought it in, and we started moving things around. So things started rolling. And as much as I didn't want to, we did have to take down the corner shelves that were in that corner just because that was the only place that the mirror could fit. So we took those down and we're saving them for the next house. And then things paused for a little while longer and I started browsing Pinterest and started getting some really cool inspiration for the closet doors. There were actually so many good ideas and it got me really excited. Then one of you, I don't know who, I can't remember, but one of you sent me a photo on Instagram of this bedroom with this headboard that was not only a headboard, but it also doubled as floating nightstands because they attached shelves to it. And I was like, this is brilliant. This solves all of our problems. I showed Zach, he loved it, and we got to work researching the kind of wood we needed. This is gonna cost a lot more money than we thought. So the last place we went didn't have what we were looking for. Did they have what we were looking for or just not enough of it?
Not enough of it.
So we just came to a different place that actually specializes in wood and stuff. Found what we're looking for. Is it more expensive?
No, it's actually cheaper.
It's cheaper.
By like 20 cents.
It makes a difference. I was hoping we could redo this room on a budget, and we could have, but we didn't want to sacrifice quality to get something done. We could have gone with a cheaper wood, but chances are that wood would warp and bow and we would have had to completely redo things in the future. So we ended up going with a slightly more expensive wood and we needed a lot of it. So we ended up spending a pretty penny on wood to create the closet doors and to create the bed frame, but you know what? I don't regret it one bit. It's totally worth it. These things are solid, like they're gonna last a lifetime.
I thought vehicle door closed. I messed up.
No.
So all my holes are supposed to be on this side. I don't know why I drilled down on that side. So, oops, so filler.
So Zach is working on the first project of this this makeover. He is making new closet doors for us. The closet doors we have they're kind of falling apart. They're pretty destroyed.
3 of the
Zach has a few more there. He's working on the last one right now. It's a really nice wood, like it's a beautiful color.
These are the 3 doors actually that are done right now. Well, almost. I have to put center supports in them, but the wood is a lot straighter and very nice. Very expensive.
What have you been saying this whole time over and over and over again?
This wood is nice.
I love working with maple.
Oh yeah, I really do like working with maple.
He keeps like smelling it and he's like, do you smell this? It smells so good.
You should smell it though. I think I have a little piece here. Oh, that's a good one. Smell it.
I don't smell anything.
It smells really good.
I found some burlap off of Amazon that was like the exact size we needed, the exact dimensions. And it was pretty affordable as well. And then for hardware, we're going to use the same hardware from our other closet doors, except we're gonna have to find new handles. I'm gonna leave you be. I'm
almost done.
Gonna go sit inside. And then everything paused. Summer really came into full swing and we were just enjoying our summer, going out camping on weekends, and things are busy. We got distracted. I had a little bit too much time to think, and I decided, you know what, if we're gonna do this room, we're gonna do it right. We're gonna go all in. Enter plan B. I wanted to paint the walls. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be a bit more bold. We have white throughout our entire house and I just wanted to dabble in something a little bit unique. I really wanted to focus on natural textures and colors and textiles, and I wanted to bring lots of warm tones into this bedroom, and originally I wanted to go with like a terracotta color on the walls, something just like bold and fun, but also relaxing. It needed to be relaxing. I mean, this is the bedroom we come to relax. It needed to be relaxing. Trying to find a color that is subtle but different, that's kind of like a terracotta color, or maybe like a taupey color, or something like this. Or is that too pink?
I think I look very pink.
Is that too brown?
I would say it's almost still too pink.
That's not too pink.
Which one do you like?
had the same color for 4 years, and while I still do love it, it's a great paint color, I'd like something a little bit different, just because. Why not? Also, this trim. I have hated this trim since the day we moved in, and I want to get rid of it so very badly. We went to our local store and picked up some paint cards and paint samples, and I'm having a very hard time because this is a difficult decision to make. The vibe I'm going for is just something that is really, really hard to achieve. I'm going for like something warm, deserty, and I feel like with this color tone we're at risk of looking very dated instead of trendy and new. The colors I picked up are mostly like orangey toned. I couldn't decide if I wanted to go with more of like a grayish kind of tone. That's definitely too dark. Or if I wanted to go more of a like nude pinky tone. I feel like the pink wouldn't go well with the rest of the room though. Because the floor we have rug in our bedroom, and as much as I hate it, Zach will not rip it up. If I had my way, we'd have nice light hardwood floors, but that's just not happening, so whatever color we get has to go well with the rug, and I don't feel like either of these go well. So other paint options include more of a brown. I feel like that might look too dated and definitely too dark. We've got more of a subtle, we have the more peachy tones. I feel like that's too risky. Yeah. I'm thinking we might go with that one. It's subtle, but it's warm. Yeah. I like it. Do you like it? I like it. I proceeded to rip down this entire bedroom in preparation for paint. I wanted to get my hands dirty. I wanted to get involved in this. Normally DIYs and like house projects and things like that is normally Zach's domain. That's what he does. I have no idea what I'm doing. You ready? Okay, you gotta stand over there. You can watch.
Alright. I'm gonna watch.
Here, maybe let's
Let me do it with you. Let me help you.
hang on.
Let me do it.
We've got the expert in to help.
Whoa.
Well, you've done this before. I have not.
This is called, I don't know what it's actually called, but your dad said it was called a little red.
That's what he calls it.
I don't know, but just go along and
to get involved. I didn't want everything to be, rested on his shoulders. I wanted to try. Also, I've done some of these things. I know I'm capable of doing some of these things, and so I really wanted to get in there and see what I can do. Okay, you gotta move.
I gotta move. Oh, it's coming off.
Did it! You did it! High five!
Alright.
This is what the color of our wall was before we moved in. This like really ugly minty green. It was so bad.
I'm gonna rip that off.
You gotta help me rip this off so that we can sand it down. Okay, the room is ready. It has been prepped. Everything's been kind of flattened out and ready to start mudding. So I'm gonna start with the little spots on the wall, which is like everywhere along the wall, and then I'm gonna get Zach in here to show me how to do these bigger parts where there's like chunks of drywall that have been taken off from where the trim used to be. Hopefully it won't look too noticeable underneath the new paint. So after a quick mudding tutorial, I mudded the whole room, and I was surprised the amount of nicks and dings and holes in our walls. Busy inside mudding and getting the walls ready to paint. Zach's been out here working on the closet door frames. This came in just in time. Burlap was just delivered, and we are going to be using burlap to cover these frames. It brought in a lot of nice warm tones and warm texture, and it kind of separated the wall from the closet door. It is the next day, the mud has dried, and it is ready to be sanded, so Zach is sanding. And I think we have narrowed down the paint colors to 2 different paint colors, both by Benjamin Moore. I don't know, we haven't decided. A few days of living in chaos later, Zach started sanding the walls down, I taped all the edges, and we bought a can of paint. It is officially the day. I've been putting painting off for a while now just because we've been busy, but also I've been trying to decide on a paint color and I just can't really decide. We had the paint swatches just like taped to the wall for a few days so you could see them in different lighting. This is Ethereal by Benjamin Moore. It's just like a creamy white. It's not much different than what we have on our walls right now, but we'll see. We'll see how it is. I also just got a small...
You bought the same color as what's on the walls?
No, like look at it.
Oh, okay.
It's not the same, it's darker.
Comparison side by side.
Can you see that? Should I get the paint swatch?
It looks a bit darker.
I also got just a small can because I don't want to take any risks. If we end up not liking it, we'll just try a different color and we'll go from there. So, this is the moment. Am I doing this right? No, I'm not. It doesn't look much different. We will see. It dries darker though. That looks like hardly any different.
No, it's definitely got a more yellow.
I got it in a matte finish, so when it dries, it'll be more matte. When we had the sample on the wall, it looked a lot more peachy. I guess the only way of knowing is I'll just paint this whole wall, we'll let it dry, and we'll see what we think. I painted the whole wall, and my first impression was, ooh, I like this. It's subtle, but it's nice and it's warm. But then it dried. And now in this lighting, it's a lot more yellow than I wanted it to be. I was going for more of a peachy, and this was the peachier tone out of the colors we had chosen, but it's just not peachy enough. Zach ran to the store and got a couple more samples, and everything still looks too yellow, except for this one. So I'm trying to decide. Like, they're so similar. They're so similar, and it's so hard to tell, and I probably won't even notice in the end. But that one is just ever so slightly more peachy. While I was struggling with that paint decision, Zach was in the garage and he was starting to wrap the closet doors in burlap. Took a little break from looking at these walls. Figured I would just use the rest of that can of paint that I had, just continue painting, otherwise it's going to go to waste anyway. And the this is what the result is. Now that I've continued painting, looking back, it does not look quite as yellow, but like a really subtle yellowy peach. I'm gonna stick with it. After a few days of just living in that paint color, I knew it was not the paint color for us. It was not relaxing. I did not enjoy it. And again, I wanted my room to be a room where I just enjoyed being in. Also, there were a lot of spots on the wall that we had missed. It was really hard to mud such a wide area all the way around our room, and so there were a lot of just patches, things that needed to be fixed. So we re-mudded, we re-sanded, and we bought a new can of paint. Well, I did it. I took a risk when I should not have taken a risk, and we are repainting. This paint color, I don't hate it. I kind of like it, but in this setting, it's just not working. It's not relaxing, it's not calming. I walk in here and I just think, wow, that's really yellow. It's just too much. So we spent a few more days trying to decide on a different paint color, and we came up with Albescent by Benjamin Moore. I feel like it's just like a lighter, more like neutral version of this color. Here's to hoping. Fingers crossed, praying that this is the color. And if it's not, then I'm just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it, because I am not repainting again. Here we go again. Immediate first impression, I really like it. I really, really like it. I'm excited. Look at it from farther away. Oh, I think that's perfect. To be honest, I'm still not sold on the paint color. It's kind of a weird one. Like in this lighting, it looks a little bit more like white, a little bit more beige. But when the sun is shining in, it looks very yellow, which I don't hate. It's kind of nice. It's like I have two different paint colors in one. I don't know, this color is nice, but it almost feels like it's too much of the same tone in one bedroom. I don't hate it. I don't love it. But I also was not going to paint for a third time. And it was at this point in time, actually it was the same day, I repainted this room that we put an offer on a house. I'm signing the documents to put in an offer. We're putting in an offer on this house. It was crunch time. Now we had to really start getting our butts in gear and finishing up this bedroom, so it was one less project that we had to do, and so that we could at least enjoy it for a little bit before we had to move. The next step was a small one, but I feel like it makes a big difference. We took all of the metals out of the room, curtain rods, handles, fan blades, which that's another story, I'll get to that in a minute. We took all the metals out, and I wanted them to be all one cohesive color. It's a small detail to bring the room together, and so I went out and got a can of spray paint. We went with an antique brass. I felt black was too bold, gold was too shiny and metally, so brass is kind of a nice in-between of those two. So we spray painted everything, gave them a few coats of top coat so they'd be more durable. Zach doesn't trust me spray painting. I was gonna do it, but he wants to do it. He says he wants to do it, so I'm just gonna let him do it. It's one less thing I have to do. The trick is just be really... The trick is be really bad at something, and then your husband will just do it for you. Zach will teach you how to properly spray paint.
Delilah spray paints like a 13-year-old boy spraying axe on himself. Just holds it in, just...
I don't.
What you do is you do this. Okay, so you go like this and go spray, 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 spray.
I know, I do that. You were so confident in your painting skills.
That was fine. Just wait.
You thought I spray painted really heavily? Now, I bought an old vintage fan with rattan fan blades off of Facebook Marketplace. Not that there's anything wrong with the fan that we have now, but I just felt like an old vintage one would bring a nice, you know, vintage flair into the room, and the caning in the fan blade would really add to the like natural texture vibe I was going for. So we bought it, brought it home, started fixing it up. It was looking fantastic, and then Zach says to me, it's gonna be a lot of work to install this fan. The vintage fan base was larger than our current fan, which means he would have to do like cutting in our roof, and it would just be like, it would be a lot of work. And at this point, we were not down for a lot more work. Currently, Zach is working on the headboard. It's looking really good so far.
So these were actually 1x4s when we bought them. We cut them in half, so they're roughly a 1x2. And I am marking now 3 points on here where I will put a piece of wood from this end to this end, so that it basically holds the board this roughly 1 inch apart. Which the idea is to build shelves similar to this that'll just slide into there, and then we can move them as we want.
And that'll be the nightstand on either side of the bed.
We could always like make them longer or do like a short one here, or whatever, right?
As always, almost every inspiration comes from either Instagram or Pinterest, and I'll leave both of those down below.
Show mommy how you do it.
Wow. Zach finished the headboard last night, and oh my goodness, it looks fantastic. And I'm starting to slowly see my whole vision come to life, but we ran into a major speed bump last night. I'll show you what I mean. So the original plan was to have the bed exactly as it was, to have it pushed up against the wall, and like this would be like the headboard, the wall with the headboard, but it's a short wall. And when Zach was doing his measurements, I distinctly remember him saying, 8 feet's gonna be too big. I'm gonna have to cut the boards to 7 feet. He did not do that. So, to give you an idea, this is 8 feet. It comes out to here. So obviously that was not gonna work. So we had to move some things around. Obviously the bed couldn't be here anymore, and Zach really didn't want to cut the board shorter because in the future when we move, we wanted to have the bed obviously in the center of the room, because when we move, we're gonna buy a bigger house and there'll be more room, so we'll be able to have the bed in the center. It'll be easier to explain if I just show you. Look how beautiful that is. I love it so much. It looks so good. So this is what I mean. Before it was gonna like cut off right here, and all of this would be pushed over, so it would be like a really long nightstand basically. So there would be nothing on this side and lots on that side, and it just wasn't working along this wall. So last night it was like 11 o'clock, and we moved our bed back to where it was when we first moved in. This is definitely the layout that like would make the most sense when you first walk into the room, and it looks very good, but when you come over here, there's not a whole lot of room for anything else. This is feeling a little bit crowded now. Anyway, long story short, it's coming together very beautifully, but now I have to come up with a plan C, plan D. I don't even know what plan we're on right now. Plan C, change the entire layout. Move the bed to the back wall and center it. And try adding some personal touches into the room without having to drill more holes in the wall, because we've just painted and now we're gonna move, and I did not want to mud and paint again. It was a blessing in disguise though, because if Zach had cut that headboard 1 foot shorter, it would have been too short to have the bed centered. This length is perfect. Our solution for cheap and minimal lighting was a pendant lamp hanging from the ceiling. We went to the thrift store, we bought a cheap little basket, and because I've got an electrician as a husband, it was really handy to just have him create a light out of this basket. He already had all the materials we needed. I can't even tell you what exactly he did because I have no idea, but it's very weirdly satisfying to watch. We chose to hang a light from the ceiling instead of doing sconces because there's no tricky wiring, and we chose to do a hanging light instead of a lamp because it saves us a lot of room on our floating nightstands. It was kind of the perfect solution. So the first time Zach tried installing the closet doors, they were too big and it was heartbreaking. I felt so bad for Zach because he had spent so much time into these closet doors and now he had to take them all apart. I guess 2 of our closet doors were larger than the other 2. And he only measured the larger one because you would assume closet doors are all the same size. It was such a good feeling when those closet doors closed. Oh! Woohoo! So I bought these hooks off of Amazon and they arrived just the other day and I was really excited about them. The original plan was to put them up here by the mirror and then hang hats, do like 2 or 3 of them. But now that things have kind of changed, like the whole layout has changed, my second thought was, well, this wall is no blank. Why not hang all 4 hooks along this wall and then hang up things like hats, things like my sling, my house coats? Why not hang them there? But now I don't know. Like the more that we're in this room and living in this room, I just feel like anything else on the wall might be too much. So I'm almost thinking just not using the hooks in this bedroom, using them somewhere else and kind of leaving things as is. After some contemplating, we decided to just keep the room feeling more minimal and to not put more holes in the wall. So we ended up just replacing these silver hooks on the back of the door with these wooden ones, and I think it is such an upgrade. The final touch was going to be a new bedspread. I wanted something to kind of break up the colors in this room, something maybe like a darker brown or kind of a blushy pink. But because we're moving, we were kind of rushed and there just wasn't enough time to order a bedspread and have it here in time. So instead I added some pop of color with accessories and textiles. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our bedroom. I am beyond thrilled with how this turned out. It looks way better than I ever envisioned, although it was a lot more work than I ever envisioned, but that's how renos go, right? Anything like DIY project related, that's how it always goes. This video has been 3 months in the making. I'm so excited to be putting it all together and to finally have it live for you and to show you. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I have enjoyed this. If you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe and join us for this new journey, moving and renovating our new house. I cannot wait to show you. I am so so excited. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Buddy, I'm trying to do... Hey.